All right, sports fans, ready to dive into some of the biggest moments from this past week?
Definitely a wild week across the board.
Yeah, upset surprises, a rookie performance that has everyone buzzing.
I mean, you always expect some shakeups early in the season, but this week was something else.
It really was. So, to make sure we cover it all, let's quickly run through what we'll be hitting today. We've got the Jets and the Texans, a little Halloween magic there.
Some would call it a miracle. We've also got some interesting developments in the NBA.
Right, the Bucks and the Grizzlies, the Mavericks and the Rockets.
And of course, we can't forget about the Spurs and the Jazz. That was a game everyone's talking about.
For a good reason. So let's get this deep dive started.
Sounds good.
First up, let's talk about the Jets and the Texans. I mean, did anyone see that coming?
It was definitely an upset. The Jets snapping their 5-game losing streak against the Texans on Halloween night, no less.
Talk about a spooky good time for Jets fans. But seriously, this win had to be a huge relief for them, especially after all those Super Bowl predictions at the start of the season.
Yeah, bringing in Aaron Rodgers raised expectations, and then to see them struggle like that, it had to be a tough pill to swallow.
And, you could tell this win meant something. The energy, the fight they showed, it felt different.
Rodgers really stepped up, too.
Oh, absolutely. 3 touchdowns, he was on fire. But it wasn't just him. The whole team seemed to click. What did you make of that game plan? It felt like they really exploited some weaknesses in the Texans' defense, especially with those linebackers.
Yeah, you're right. They seemed to have the Texans figured out, especially that play where Rodgers connected for a touchdown. It was like they knew exactly what coverage the Texans were going to be in.
Smart coaching, that's for sure. And speaking of smart, let's talk about the rookie sensation everyone can't stop talking about, Victor Wembanyama.
Oh, where do we even begin with this kid?
Seriously, what he did against the Jazz is like something out of a video game. 25 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 steals, and 5 blocks.
A 5-by-5 game. You just don't see that, especially not from a rookie.
I mean, we knew he was talented, but this is next level stuff. And I was watching that game. It wasn't just the stats. It was the way he was playing. The confidence, the swagger.
It's like he's been in the league for years, not just a few games. He doesn't play like a rookie at all.
Exactly. And the thing is, he's not just putting up numbers, he's making everyone around him better. The Spurs pulled off a pretty convincing win against the Jazz, and you can't help but think Wembanyama's energy is rubbing off on his teammates.
Yeah, he's got that it factor, that intangible quality that elevates everyone around him. He's not just playing well, he's making his teammates better, and that's the mark of a true star.
So we got the Jets pulling off a huge upset, and Wembanyama making history. And now, let's talk about a team that's been struggling a bit. The Milwaukee Bucks.
The Bucks, yeah, that's been a head-scratcher for sure. 4-game losing streak, including that loss to the Grizzlies.
They're supposed to be a championship contender, and they're looking a little lost out there. What do you think is going on? Is injuries? Chemistry issues?
It could be a combination of things. Early season jitters, maybe teams have figured out how to defend against them better. But you're right, something's not clicking the way it should be.
I'm curious, what are your thoughts on the Grizzlies game specifically? I mean, the Grizzlies are a good team, but the Bucks, on paper, should have handled them. What happened there?
Well, it seemed like the Grizzlies really disrupted the Bucks' flow. Their defense was stifling, and they forced the Bucks into a lot of turnovers, bad shots. They really made the Bucks work for every basket.
Interesting. It'll be interesting to see how the Bucks bounce back from this. They definitely have some work to do.
Definitely. But they've got the talent, the coaching. I wouldn't count them out just yet.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Now, on a lighter note, the Mavericks had a pretty wild game against the Rockets.
Oh, yeah. That was a fun one to watch. Started slow, but man, that third quarter.
Like a completely different team came out after halftime. They just exploded. What do you think sparked that turnaround?
Well, Luka Doncic really took over in that third quarter. He was hitting shots, creating plays for his teammates. It was like a masterclass in offensive basketball.
He's something else, that's for sure. And finally, we have to talk about the Phoenix Suns. They just keep winning. Another victory this week, this time against the Clippers. Are they the real deal?
They're looking pretty good, that's for sure. They've got a balanced team, solid coaching, and they're playing with a lot of confidence right now.
They're definitely a team to watch. So there you have it, folks. A rookie sensation taking the league by storm. The Jets finally getting back on track. The Bucks facing some unexpected hurdles. The Mavericks pulling off a stunning comeback. And the Suns quietly building a winning streak.
A week full of surprises, that's for sure. It makes you wonder what's next. Will Wembanyama continue to dominate? Can the Jets keep their momentum going? Will the Bucks figure things out? And can the Suns keep their streak alive?
So many questions, and only time will tell. That's what makes sports so exciting, right? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into all the action. We'll be back next week to break down another exciting week of sports.
Until then, keep your eyes on the games, and we'll see you next time.
See you then.